Hi, this is Jacqueline here with the Grow Program. Thank you for growing with me. I have been meditating on someone lately because I have actually thought about her over the years and the years of my life because as she was here, she was tormented. And I mean the beautiful Miss Phyllis Hyman, the queen, the legend, who seemed to just pour out her beautiful heart in song. The type of loving person that she was. Really she reminded me of me because I'm a very loving, giving person. I give you the shirt off my back. I will, but I need it. But that's the type of person I am. But she was a beautiful person, loving person. And I wondered, now dealing with what I've been dealing with, I wondered, did she ever run into a narcissistic type of person? Because that type of person will make you doubt yourself. That type of person would drive you to commit suicide. To have someone come into your life and all of a sudden just devote all kind of attention on you and then stop giving you attention, and then control you and you're just controlled by them. Your whole world is just consumed by this person because they make sure it is. A narcissistic type of person will they gotta have attention, whether it be affairs, whether it be cars. And see, in my situation, it was both. It was affairs, it was constant women. And then the cars. We always had to have some kind of new car to show around and flash around. And the car would get more attention than I did. I used to think it'd be funny because a man in his car, he would actually go get a chair and sit outside and stare at that car and wipe that car. And you couldn't touch that car. And he was obsessed with that car. And then when he had to have another car. It was always something else. It was always some woman. And every 2 weeks, he'd fly off the handle. He'd find a reason to argue, and then blame me and say it was all my fault. You did this. And if you hadn't done that, well, you used to do it, and you really need to think about this because and then and then this person, they all of a sudden, they'll dump you, all of a sudden, on to something new, and still, it's a control thing. And I've been reading up on this a lot. And it's to me, it's a form of evil because this person don't even realize anything wrong with them. Like my husband told me, when I had actually looked through his phone and saw, him looking through at pictures of women and stuff. He said, well, you had no business going in my phone looking at that. If you hadn't went through my phone, see, that's your fault for even going in my phone looking for that, And so, but he was really right. I had no business in his phone. That was his personal stuff, but really I thought it was a line that you ain't supposed to cross, but he telling me it's something different, and he had to have constant attention, from women all the time. He would stop in the store and stop women and say, excuse me, didn't we go to school together? And one woman said, I don't even know you. I'm telling you, I done went through something, honey. I have. And then just to come out of it, thinking that, with him steady saying, well, it's you. If you hadn't done this and but see, he's steady chasing women, and I feel really sorry for the women that he is getting in contact with. I really do, because what he does is he's climbing, he's using the women who got money and who got credit or who got what, because within weeks of me meeting him, I was co-signing for a $40,000 car. After I co-signed for the $40,000 car, after we got married, he went back to the ex talking about it's something I did and I didn't even do anything, and then, it's just always pointing something at me. And the reason I'm telling you this is very personal. Yes, it is. But I need to identify as we are going along on this journey. I'm growing. As we are going along on this journey, we need to identify these dangerous people because, a narcissist is not that, because see what's happened. He's done it to so many women down even before me. He has dropped them and ran off and left them. And he told me about so many of them that he left broken and crying. And so, and had it not been for God, because see here what I'm telling you, had it not been for God, I put my all in it. Had it not been for God, I wouldn't have made it out of it. So I'm telling you, there is a God. I wouldn't have made it because I would have I was walking around there to the go commit myself, thinking something wrong with me when it wasn't me, and he's still out there looking. He's still, searching. And I'm telling you, it's a predatory behavior, and I'm not here to out him or anything like that, except to out this behavior. This narcissistic, controlling type of behavior, because he would get it so I would be so consumed with him. He calling me all day long while he at work. I'm trying to work. I can't even work because he's steady calling. I'm steady answering the phone. I'm thinking it's cute and everything, but it ain't nothing cute about that. See, because what that is, that's evil trying to interrupt your God-given purpose. I couldn't even have no kind of peace. Even after I got out of it, I'm steady looking at the clock. I had to go through that, and I realized I done went through a trauma, not, just in the relationship, but also, with the country. So just imagine the beautiful Miss Phyllis Hyman and what she went through. And the struggles, not only in the relationship. You see, she's a beautiful, giving woman, and she's telling the world, I want to love and I want to be loved. I don't want to be lonely. But I'm going to tell you something. As long as you got God, you ain't lonely, honey. Because see, I had to find happiness within myself. I had to find peace within myself. I don't care who don't see me as being worthy. I know that I am. And see, and out of some evil came the Grow program for me to tell you that you are worthy. You are loved. God loves you. You are not here to be going through the battle. You are not here just to be going through, your circumstance and don't see no way out. You've been paying your tithes and offerings. You've been doing this and doing that. How do I get over? How do I win? How do I come up? How do I win the battle? How do I get out of this? A lot of time we put ourselves in different circumstances, doing us. We need to quit doing that. We need to quit putting ourselves off in different circumstances and getting involved in different things we ain't got no business being off in. We need to keep our eyes focused on the Lord. Sometimes you need to just turn your back on the chaos, negativity, and drama. Go to the window and look to the hills, which cometh my help. That's what I have to do. And then I throw love on them. I just throw love, because if you throw anything else, there you go. You gonna be going right along with them. Just like when you see something coming along, and when you used to watch the cartoons and you see something coming along, next thing you know, they rolling off in some chaos. That's how you would be, just rolling off in some chaos with them. Gone, you gone, and they gone. So we gonna do something different. We gonna throw some love on them. We ain't even gonna go there with them like that. And that's how we're going to drive out the evil. That's how we're going to rise above this oppression. We're going to drive this evil away, honey. I'm going to tell you something. It's a way to deal with it. Then you remove yourself out of it. If the situation get to be so much, because see there, that's what happened with me. The situation got to be so much, that I'm steady throwing love, but then, so I wasn't doing nothing no more. So now, you used to. You don't do it now, but you used to. Remember when see, that's when people want to throw up your past. So then, thank you, past. It's time to move on. And you going to be part of the past. Because, see, I ain't finna deal with no foolishness. I ain't got time for that. I got to move on in the Lord. I got to keep growing. Greatness reached over oppression through wisdom. And the wisdom is I need to get out this chaos, negativity, and drama. And that's why I'm here. Something beautiful then came out of some evil, in the midst of evil. I'm in there trying to tell the word of the Lord. And outside the room is demons. They all outside the room. Because, see, I had a bedroom and a bathroom. So I was good. When he got up and left in the morning, I got me a cup of coffee, came on back in there, and I was good till daylight. And sometime I open up the door and step out, and I can feel them. And I go back in. It ain't time yet. Go back in. Go and sit down. Go meditate. Go do a sermon. I'm going to tell you something. That's why evil ain't got no power, That's why evil ain't got no power, because I'm in there and I pretty soon, as I'm getting stronger and stronger in the Lord, honey, forget closing the door, I'm driving the evil out of here. While I'm in there, I'm stepping up in there in power. Wasn't nothing going on while I was up in there, honey. I wasn't studying no evil. Greater is he that is in me than he that is in the world. See, I'm walking in power now. I'm standing up to evil. I don't walk in fear, because God give us a sense of power. He don't give us a sense of fear. So that's why we got to keep moving, people. The Lord put on the beloved, even though we worry, put on my spirit. Even though we worry, we stress, just know that they got it. God got this. God has put beloved ancestors who are appointed to watch over us and care for us. We are not alone. The good spirits are not resting, because I would not have been able to overcome the evil in that house had it not been for the good spirits, because I was terrified of them demons in there. I was scared to death, honey. Scared in the Bible all the time, praying all the time. Didn't even want to be in there, but I had to be in there. So we had Corona. Couldn't go nowhere. Couldn't go sit up in no restaurant nowhere. Couldn't go nowhere. Supposed to be in the house on lockdown in a haunted house. So in the haunted house came something beautiful. Came the Grow program. And I wouldn't want to be growing for nothing. Rather be doing anything else than growing than nothing else in the world. I'm living for the Lord. It ain't no job like working for God. It ain't no job like getting up, growing, and having a smile on my face. Somebody actually told me, I don't want to hear about that happy God mess all the time. Well, remember back in the day, when they used to talk crazy to you, you used to let them talk to tone, dial tone. So that's exactly what happened. Said wasn't no dial tone, but it was click, because see, I ain't got time. You ain't finna take my joy. No, ain't even the weather. The weather don't even take my joy. So I'm telling you, when you get on here, you're going to hear about God, honey. I'm telling you about God, but we also going to talk about the movement. We're going to talk about reaching our greatness and genuine equality. That's what we moving for. That's what we're going to reach around the world. Love drives out hate. We're going to carry on the dream of Dr. King and become a beloved community. We're going to rise from the oppression all over the world. Greatness reached over oppression through wisdom. Let's rise, people. I love you.